Back in 2005, Destroy All Humans launched on the PS2, Xbox, and PC to mostly positive reception for its unique take on playing essentially what is an alien invader destroying humanity. After the launch of the third game, the series went dormant because it was so negatively received, until THQ Nordic revived it like they've been doing with a lot of dormant franchises like The Blob, Time Splitters, and Red Faction. Instead of just providing a simple HD remake, Black Forest Games, who was charged with modernizing the visuals and controls, made an incredible effort of remaking this classic title for modern audiences. I mean, just look at the original game compared to the modern title. It's amazing how far we've come in just 15 years, with better animations, environmental variety, and overall superior presentation that gives Destroy All Humans that touch-up it so desperately needed. Destroy All Humans remake follows the same narrative as the original, with one brand new mission that doesn't add much in terms of the overall story. Crypto is part of the Furon alien race that reproduces using cloning. Unfortunately, the cloning banks used for creating new Furons are decaying with each new clone, and without any means to sexually reproduce, they must locate pure Furon DNA before they go extinct. Fortunately, after a past Furon war, the Furons did land on Earth and began mingling with the human race, let's put it like that, incorporating pure Furon DNA into the human genome. Crypto 136 was sent to scout the planet but crashed and is now captured by humanity. Pox, along with another clone named Crypto 137, must now travel to Earth, rescue 136, recover or destroy any captured Furon technology, and prepare the planet for conquest. The game, it never takes itself seriously, playing like a dark comedy full of stereotypes found in 1940s to 1990s monster and alien films. Things such as anal probes, flying saucers, secret government organizations, and many more stereotypical alien-related things are part of this adventure. Even the human civilians and the main antagonist play into this 1960s Cold War stereotype, with people constantly blaming communism for their problems and acting patriotic to avoid suspicion or quell it when they're faced with controversy. However, the game tends to reuse character models heavily. This is expected considering this is a budget title, but this can break the immersion when you see multiple characters with the same model inches apart, not to mention similar voices being used for different character models. Crypto can still read minds of any person nearby, but often they'll repeat the same dialogue over and over again. Most of their inner thoughts are funny at first, but not really for the 7th time of hearing it. Crypto is just as sadistic and ruthless as ever, taking delight in causing havoc and harvesting the brains from dead humans. Essentially, you are the villain of this story, as Crypto and Pox manipulate humanity and killing anyone who stands in their way, such as the US military and a secret organization called Majestic. If you ever wanted to play as an alien invader that destroys humanity, this is your game, and it's one of the best examples of it. The story has a solid beginning, middle, and end with a pretty solid conclusion. Yes, there are 2 more games that follow after this series that you can experience right now, but this is the best Destroy All Humans game out there. I did kind of wish that they took a different route with the franchise and decided to retell the same story but in a different perspective, similar to what Capcom has been doing with Resident Evil 2 and 3, but I understand they're trying to test the waters to see if this franchise is still as strong as ever, and if they decide to continue with this series, maybe they'll decide to go in that route instead of just keep rehashing the same adventure. We all saw what happened with the original Destroy All Humans trilogy. It ended badly, so maybe it's time to give Crypto a much more better adventure instead of trying to rehash or fix the past. At its core, Destroy All Humans plays like a third-person shooter. Black Forest Games have done an incredible job refining the controls for better stability and access. Unlike the original, where Crypto felt sluggish and depended on his jetpack for increased mobility, Crypto can now dash and has better control while in the air. You feel much more grounded when walking around, and the new targeting system, especially the lock-on system, makes targeting specific enemies much easier. Crypto's weapons range from his classic Zap-O-Matic or the Anal Probe. Essentially, it's the same weapons from the first game, each with upgrades available. Crypto's Flying Saucer is still available, complete with a Death Ray, Sonic Boom, Quantum Destructor, and Tractor Beam, that each have their own levels of upgrades. There is a new shielding system that allows you to repel missiles when fully upgraded, and you can call your ship from any destination, which is a nice touch. Other improvements include the ability to jump when in disguise using the Hollow Bob and a better controller layout. Now you can use Crypto's various powers much easier. Before you had to hold down a trigger before hitting a specific face button to use an ability. Now you just hit a face button. The developers have made it easier to extract brains from targets by tapping the button quicker, making it a much more viable option to get brains. Brains serve as the game's experience. You can collect these by completing missions and challenges. Optional objectives are provided alongside main missions to provide additional brains if completed. Upgrades have been increased from the original, with more variety in terms of what you can unlock. You won't unlock everything unless you grind a lot or complete the side challenges, or collect a large amount of drones within each map, and for the most part you don't need every upgrade. There are some that definitely make the game easier. I mean, this game is not a really challenging title, but for the most part the upgrades are distributed evenly. Unlike the original, the developers had added more environmental variety to the landscape. Before, the game was just one large area with often repeating assets with little diversity. This was the limitation for the technology at the time, so you wouldn't expect that much in terms of environmental variety. Now there's plenty of buildings, character models are all over the environment, and other distinctive assets that make each environment more appealing to explore. There are hidden drones that provide additional DNA and challenges ranging from killing enemies, abducting specific people and items, races, and saucer challenges. In addition, the game does offer more variety when it comes to completing these challenges, unlike the original where they were just repeating challenges with more difficult requirements that had no end. Here you are ranked based on your performance and rewarded accordingly. The enemy variety is a bit lacking though. You'll face mostly the same enemies over and over, with only one real change to the enemy roster that I can't say for the sake of spoilers. Boss fights have been revised to include multiple phases, but most of the game, like I said, isn't that challenging. Even with these added phases, the boss enemies are very easily defeated, especially when you over-upgrade Crypto's many arsenal. I did wish they included a brand new boss fight, maybe one of the other military leaders instead of this new side mission, which is welcoming, but it's just a bunch of key objectives that kind of bridge one mission to the next. It doesn't really add anything, but I did wish they added a new fight. You can earn new skins and artwork by completing everything. It's nothing we haven't seen before, but you can replay missions to complete missed optional objectives or to see Crypto reenacting scenes using alternate skins. There's about 23 missions in total, each taking between 5 to 20 minutes to complete. Missions range from killing humans, of course, to stealth. Sometimes Crypto will have to infiltrate military bases, take part in serious meetings disguised as an important person, or gain intel from specific targets. It's nothing too challenging, as I've stated repeatedly before, but the variety is healthy and every mission has a theme that helps you get closer to your ultimate goal. Nothing feels out of place or filler, but because of this, you can complete the game rather quickly in about 4 to 5 hours to be precise. There's no alternate difficulty options, and other than achievements, there's little reason to replay the adventure. The replayability is low, but the adventure is still fun to take part in. Harvesting humans, manipulating the populace, and generally the writing is overall fun while it lasts. And as someone who experienced the original title, I actually had a lot of fun going back and finding what they've changed, what's been modernized, and exploring the overall environment. And just putting this into perspective, back in 2005 this game was sold at full price and it irked a lot of gamers. Now it's being sold at a discounted price of $30, which I think is really reasonable. It's a thrilling adventure, it's funny, it's entertaining, and to me it's well worth the $30 even if it has little replayability. Now let's talk about the biggest noticeable change, the visuals. Everything looks amazing, especially Crypto and the human character models compared to the original title. Yeah, they have this type of plastic look to them, but it's a serious improvement to these visuals.
See what I saw?
You bet your sweet ass I did. What did you see?
Little green man in a flying saucer wiping out the best infantry unit in the US Army.
Especially when it comes to the animations, which are far better than the original, especially Crypto. The textures and general environmental design have been radically improved, and overall it's a good looking title. However, the game's loading times are problematic. I never experienced a crash, but the loading times were definitely noticeable. Maybe Ghost of Tsushima has spoiled me with their fast loading times, but here, it was too long to ignore. In addition, when you fail challenges or a mission, you'll have to endure a long load time before you can retry. Not to mention, there's no reset checkpoint option, so if you missed an optional objective, you'll have to restart the entire mission. There are a little occasional textures popping in too late, but overall it's just little minor issues, like faulty animations, characters floating in midair, you know, nothing too major. Destroy All Humans Remake is an excellent update to this 2005 classic. The visual and control updates provide a much more improved experience that far exceeds the original in both gameplay and presentation. Yes, it's the same adventure, but thankfully the narrative still holds up today, with players taking control of the bad guy as you conquer humanity. Hopefully the series will continue and THQ Nordic will decide to either restart the franchise with a brand new entry or retell the games in a different way, similar again to how Capcom has been retelling the old Resident Evil games. If you're looking for something different where you can play as an alien invader instead of stopping it, then give Destroy All Humans a chance. It's a fun, short adventure that definitely leaves an impression, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for, again, something different to play.
Crypto! Where did you go?
Snack time.